G'day guys, EASYCORE here, just back with another little chit chat style video, and today I want to talk about a topic that's been on my mind for a little while, a subject that is kind of a tricky one to talk about and I guess come to any kind of real resolution, and that is the work-life balance. So if you're running your own studio, maybe you're a working musician, you are running some kind of side hustle, you're working for yourself, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, that at the end of the day, you do not get to clock off and go home and forget about everything and then come back the next day and your job's there. When you finish doing what you're doing, the work comes home with you and your brain is always ticking. You're always thinking about the business and making sure things are running smoothly. There's always messages to reply to, there's always emails coming in, and if you don't get back to these people quick enough, you're going to lose that job. They'll go somewhere else. So it is hard when you're running your own business to switch off and put that stuff to the side because it's just impossible. You really can't. And so I think if you run your own business, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that. And say if you're thinking about running your own business, setting up your own studio, doing mixing full time, or maybe opening a cookie shop, I don't know, like anything. Like this is something that you'll come to understand really quickly, is that it takes up all of your time. But you know what they say, like the grass is greener. If you're an employee of someone, you get to finish your job at the end of the day, go home, spend some time with your family, do whatever you want to do, and then come back and do your hours again the next day, and so on and so forth. But there is that element of being able to switch off. You've done your job for the day, you're done. Whereas if you're in the role of running the business, it's not so simple. And so the other thing that you're faced with when you are running your own business, say if you're a working musician taking on gigs, you know, this stuff can be kind of seasonal, like it has ebbs and flows. There are periods when you are really busy, and then there are periods when things kind of just chill out a little bit. So in those periods when people are saying, hey, do you want to come play a gig? Hey, can I book you for a session? Hey, can I come record an album with you? You're just saying, yes, lock it in, book it in, let's go. And so eventually you end up with a pretty full calendar, and then you still have other things coming in like, hey, can you come play a gig Saturday night? And you look at your calendar and you're like, oof. And you think, I probably shouldn't do this, but the opportunity is here, and you know, let's just go for it. Let's just get as much as we can while it's here. And so yeah, I'll come play that gig after I do my 12-hour day in the studio, and then I'll make sure I get back home at 1 a.m, set the drum kit back up for the next session that day. And then at the end of that session, I'm probably going to roll over and die. But yes, I'll do it. Especially in a creative industry like music and audio, if an opportunity is there, like absolutely, we just got to go for it and grab it. And what this can start to do over a prolonged period of time is that if you are just taking on so much stuff and not making any time for yourself to relax, to do things that you enjoy that are outside of your craft or of your business, then you're going to burn out and you're going to start to feel pretty tired and probably start to feel pretty anxious because you'll have so many jobs, so many deadlines, things coming up. And you know, you've committed to this stuff, and you'll also have things that you're going to miss out on. There's going to be sacrifices. You know, you'll take that gig, and then, you know, a week later your friends will be like, hey, we're going to go do this on that night, and you're like, oh, I've already locked myself into a gig. And then you can have those feelings of like, now I'm going to miss out on doing something that could be fun. And that is one of those annoying trade-offs of working for yourself, hustling hard. There are sacrifices like that. And you know, if you are wearing yourself out and starting to burn out, that can flow out into your friendships and relationships, because you know, it can affect your mood. It can make you feel tired. You don't want to go out, you don't want to do things because you know, you're exhausted. And then that can start to affect the quality of your work. Like if you're doing 4 gigs a week or something like that, like your voice probably isn't going to hold up forever doing that. Like you got to take care of yourself, and it can be a hard balance because you want to take the jobs, you want to push your career, you want to get ahead, like, you know, and when the opportunities are there, it's a great time to do that stuff. But it's pretty important to just find some time amongst all of the craziness to still get away from the thing that you're doing. So step outside, take a weekend, take a day off, and just chill. Don't play your guitar for a day, and then the next day you'll probably enjoy playing it a little bit more. You know, it's kind of like when you're mixing a song for like hours and hours on end, and then you don't realize that you've just been like getting worse and making the mix worse and then you go away for half an hour, you go do something else, you kind of like cleanse your palate essentially, and you come back and listen to it and you can hear all the things that are wrong with it. And that's kind of like the same with when you are just like pushing yourself to the limit. It's good to like take a day or two, get your weekend in there, because when you come back, you're gonna feel so much better and more energized. And what am I trying to say here? Because this is something that I mess up all the time. Like I just go in, go hard, and then I'm like, whoa, I've got a lot to do at the moment, so I'm just knuckling down, getting things done. But I do start to feel that, like it's just, you know, there's more to life than working. We do want to work hard, provide for our families and our loved ones, but we also need to spend time with them too. So we're always just bogging ourselves down with jobs and getting in this kind of like one-track mindset of like work. We're going to miss out on all of the good, glorious things around us as well. So just make sure that you guys don't work too hard. Get a little bit of playtime in there as well. Put some time aside for your family, your friends, your loved ones, because that stuff, life, it slips by pretty quickly. And so am I saying turn down opportunities? No. Like, you know, if a great opportunity comes up, absolutely go for it, grab it. But keep it in mind, just check on yourself. Like, am I burning myself out? Is what I'm doing right now worth it in the long run? Then if you can say yes, then yeah, go for it. If you feel like you're pushing yourself too far, you've taken on too many jobs and you feel miserable, then it's definitely not the right thing to be doing. So just make sure you slot some time in for yourself, for your loved ones. Otherwise, like, what's the point? What's the point in pushing yourself so hard that you feel miserable doing it? Make sure you take care of yourself. I didn't really think that this video was going to turn into like some like mental health check, but even I'm like listening to myself and saying you need to like take your own advice sometimes. Just make sure I'm not just sitting down here mixing songs and forgetting about the world around me. And even though I kind of feel like it's a bit elusive, like finding that perfect work-life balance, just try and get some sort of balance in there where you're not just like working all the time. So make sure you're making time for yourselves and the people who are important in your life. Life's short, work is not everything, but it's good to have goals. It's good to want to achieve stuff, but got to find that balance. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for listening to me ramble on about this stuff. And if you want to support the channel, check out the description link below. Heaps of cool stuff in there. But otherwise, I will see you guys in the next one.